Frank. Welcome. Welcome to Shift
Hey,
Mobility. It's great to see you.
thank you.
Uh,
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We certainly live in very thrilling times. Technologically, if listening to the previous speakers, were in times when I was young, most of the things we've been talking about would have been considered science fiction in my childhood. We're using quantum computers, we have reusable vertical landing rockets, autonomous driving, and of course, the communicators of the empire. And I say that only half jokingly. If you think back, the smartphone only exists somewhat over 10 years. Today, we couldn't live without it. I don't know what we did before we had it. That's how quickly things are moving. So, some things are eye catchers, like the phones. Other things are less visible. For example, the use of artificial intelligence. We do that to optimize our smart global logistics networks at UPS. And it's been enabled us to be resistant to crisis and react quickly to changing circumstances, both particularly important this year. Because not everything thrilling at the moment is positive. We're in the midst of a pandemic. It's forced us to think everything: shopping, traveling, meeting each other, or as you see today, even giving a speech at a convention. I'm glad that thanks to the modern technology, I can be with you today and join you at least virtually. So the pandemic has changed a lot, and particularly the mobility of goods. Unsurprisingly, we've seen a boost in e-commerce. People are home, they're ordering stuff. An Appianino study shows that online demand increased significantly in Germany during the crisis. About half of the respondents bought online more often because of coronavirus restrictions or concerns. And an AT Kearney study revealed very significantly that 30 to 50% of those consumers who bought more online were identified as first time online buyers, depending on the product category. It means they bought things online in the past, but now they're buying other product categories online also. And BEAK, that's the Bundesverband Paket Express and Logistik, the express couriers, predicts up to 4% growth in the parcel market for 2020. That's powered by an accelerated growth in B2C, overcompensating for a decrease in business to business deliveries. So the share of online orders has been increasing for the past 10 years. That's nothing new, but obviously an increase in online orders results in a greater demand for parcel delivery. And through COVID-19, this trend has sped up, and parcel services during the crisis have been recognized as system relevant. But while we may be delivering important medications or just bringing the joy of whatever is in the parcel to some people, to others, delivery services are met with resentment. The size and amount of delivery vehicles in cities, their ecological footprint, double parking, things we've talked about already today, all of this is frowned upon by society. So we don't take the status quo here for granted. We challenge it. That's what we do at UPS. And we invest in innovations that optimize how goods are delivered. And that should be no surprise. That's what logistics is all about, trying to achieve more with less, trying to consolidate the flow of goods. That's what logistics does. And seen in this light, sustainability is part of its DNA. Now, we heard a little bit back, someone said, yeah, everyone talks about sustainability. What are you doing? Let me tell you about some very specific things we are doing that are measurably good for our environment. When we talk about environmental efficiency, one of the big focuses is on the last mile, the delivery mile. Already back in 2012, UPS started to test making deliveries without using the large diesel vehicles, using our city logistics concept in Hamburg. And since then, throughout the center of the city, parcels have been delivered on foot, with dollies, or by bike or e-bikes, from mobile or stationary depots that are stocked every day. A study by the Hamburg School of Business Administration evaluates that the project saves around 78,000 kilometers per year, which translates to 14,000 liters of fuel, diesel fuel, and 37 tons of CO2, as well as other diesel-related pollutants. So now throughout Germany, we have similar projects. There's over 70 cargo bikes out every day, half of them electrified. And with our zero emission bikes, we reduce emissions in congestion in several cities across the country. For example, Munich and Cologne. Munich, we already supply about 2/3 of the Umweltzone by bikes. So the city logistics contributes to emission-free deliveries. It reduces the amount of traffic and quite simply takes up less space. Following the great results here, this project has been expanded throughout Europe. It's in Dublin, Paris, other European cities. And one thing I'm particularly proud of, when we in Europe come up with a solution that goes back home to our home market, the United States, city logistics is also being used in the US. Its first location was in Portland, Oregon. Another way to tackle challenges of tomorrow, of course, is to invest in research. And we run a diverse fleet of alternative fuel and advanced technology vehicles, and we constantly test and evaluate how they perform. We call this our rolling laboratory. It operates in suburban, rural, and city center locations. This helps us determine which alternative fuels and advanced technologies are best for which situation in real-world applications. And with our feedback, manufacturers are able to improve their products. So in Germany, we've been using e-vehicles since 2007. And as a matter of fact, the first thing we did was convert a diesel vehicle to an e-vehicle in 2010. So for example, the truck you see there is a vehicle that ran hundreds of thousand kilometers as a diesel vehicle, was taken off the road, completely gutted. The whole floor is batteries. It's been converted to electricity. We put it back out on the road. We do that with a partner since vehicles of that weight class, 7.5 tons, are not routinely available on the market in Germany. In the meantime, we have over 100 purely electric 7.5 ton delivery vehicles in use in Germany, and we're starting to add hybrid vehicles to our fleet. And recently, you might have seen it, we made a major commitment to e-mobility. We've invested in a UK startup called Arrival that creates electric vehicle platforms and purpose-built vehicles. We've ordered 10,000 of its electric delivery vehicles purpose-built for us. They will be deployed both here in Europe and in North America, and we've done that because we're convinced that this technology will be a big part of the future of delivery. In fact, we've also got an option for another 10,000 vehicles. That's how convinced we are. And for longer distances, we're testing the use of hybrid electric delivery vehicles with a higher range. And by the way, we also have an autonomous vehicle test ongoing in Arizona in the United States. But do we only stay on the ground? Aren't drones the future of logistics? My answer to that is no. They're already the present of logistics, at least at UPS. And UPS, we already have our own drone airline, UPS Flight Forward, which was the first drone airline to gain full flight approval by the US FAA, the Federal Aeronautics Administration, because we're convinced drones can bring great benefits to our customers. And take the service, for example, we've launched with CVS pharmacies in the United States, particularly during the pandemic. That's been very important. Our drones deliver prescription medicines, for example, from a Florida pharmacy to the largest retirement community in the US. Fast delivery, and socially distanced. We have a service with our partner MataNet, who you see on the screen. There we provide medical samples via drones at WakeMed's flagship hospital and campus in North Carolina. Drones are capable of a lot. MataNet drones fly short distances and carry up to 2 kilometers, but we have a partner here right in Germany from Darmstadt, Wingcopter, that offers, with its innovative technology, a range of up to 60 kilometers and more, depending on a cargo weight of up to 8 kilos. So drone delivery can also help our drivers to be more efficient and reduce costly delivery miles in rural areas in particular. So how about drones in delivery? Germany and other European states have a lot of restrictions for drones, and we appreciate the principle of better safe than sorry. That's, of course, good for the community, for our employees, and for our customers. Without special permission in Germany, drones cannot, for instance, cross specific infrastructure like high voltage power lines, federal waterways, the Autobahn, private residences in their gardens. They can't enter airport flight control zones and so on. That might sound impossible to overcome, but our delivery vehicles don't do that either. So the solution for now, flying above roads and rivers, we still avoid traffic and traffic lights and supplement by route planning and special permits that are granted when there's good reasons. So I'm happy to say that UPS is intensively assessing projects in several areas in Germany. We do not yet have a concrete project in Germany. Could we start one next month? Yes. That's about the time needed for administration approval of a specific route. Operational-wise, we could be ready next week. In our discussions on the subject of drone deployment, we're experiencing an openness and willingness on the part of politics and administrations to cooperate. Of course, there's still work to be done. There's three key areas we're looking at. On the EU level, there's laws and regulations on the use of drones, and that's a basis for orientation from the member states and partially also for direct implementation. However, we'd like to see more speed in developing these regulations. Individual countries have gone further, particularly Germany and Poland. In the interest of greater airspace security, we would like all drones to be visible to air traffic controllers and other aerospace users. So that means they would transmit their position constantly by communicating via mobile services and GPS. That would allow them to keep completely away from no-fly zones like airports. And it would simplify the operation of drone services in Germany if some special authorization requirements were downgraded to information requirements. An example of that would be when the drone crosses the Autobahn, but flies over a road bridge by doing so, you would no longer require permission to cross the Autobahn. You're flying above the bridge. It would just be a notification requirement. So there's concrete topics to work on, meaning that the plans for commercial use in drones in Germany have left the science fiction stage a long time ago. As I said before, these are thrilling times in which we're all searching for new opportunities and new paths, be it the rolling lab that we send out every day, the e-bikes that are out in the centers of the cities, or drones that hopefully soon will fly above us, or just learning how a company with 500,000 employees globally adapts to a virus that didn't even exist a year ago. Let's not forget, while COVID-19 is a break in many areas, it also has spurred us to accelerate in other important developments. So I think this is a time where we not only can, but we're obligated to do our part to shape the future. UPS is in, we're doing the work, and I'm thrilled to be talking in front of so many like-minded people today because I can't wait to see all the things we're going to achieve with the ideas we have. Our founder said almost 100 years ago, our horizon is as distant as our mind's eye allows it to be, as it wishes it to be. That could be a perfect thing for today's convention too. And in this sense, let's all go on out there and expand our horizons. Thank you. I wish you a very good program today.
Thank you, Frank.